You do not wake up to an alarm. You wake up to the vibration. It travels through the steel hull, through the bulkhead, and into your mattress. A constant, heavy tremor reminding you exactly where you are, trapped inside a 300-meter floating factory, thousands of miles from the nearest coastline. It is 0345 hours. Your shift starts in 15 minutes. You are exhausted, your hands are already blistered from yesterday, and if you make a mistake today, the ocean will not forgive you. This is not the romanticized life at sea. This is the exhaustion, the isolation, and the brutal reality of starting at the absolute bottom of the merchant navy. To the rest of the world, commercial shipping is invisible. 90% of global trade moves on these steel leviathans. But look closer at the hierarchy of the crew, and you will find an even deeper invisibility. When you sign your first contract in the merchant marine, you quickly realize that the ship does not care about your ambition. It only cares about maintenance. You are at the bottom of the ladder. You carry no rank, command no respect, and possess no authority. Your entire existence is defined by physical labor, repetitive tasks, and the constant, unspoken pressure not to mess up. You are the grease that keeps the machine turning. Depending on where you are assigned, you will experience one of two distinct kinds of hell: the freezing, rust-covered war zone of the deck, or the suffocating, deafening furnace of the engine room. Let's start up top. As a deck cadet or an ordinary seaman, your enemy is not just the work. It is the ocean itself. Salt water destroys steel, and your primary job is to stop it. Welcome to chipping and painting. Hours turn into days, days turn into weeks. You are armed with a needle gun or a chipping hammer, attacking acres of rusting deck in freezing winds or blistering sun. The noise rattles your teeth. Your forearms burn. By the end of your shift, your coveralls are stained with red dust and your ears are ringing. But physical exhaustion is only half the battle. You are under the absolute authority of the bosun and the chief mate. To them, you are a liability until proven otherwise. Every knot you tie, every winch you grease, and every cargo hold you sweep is scrutinized. When the ship arrives in port, while the senior officers coordinate the logistics, you are the one dragging heavy mooring lines across the deck at 2 a.m. in the pouring rain. The ropes are soaked, thick with grease, and heavy enough to break your legs if they snap under tension. There is no glory here. You are a ghost covered in paint and salt, learning the hardest lessons of seamanship through sheer, repetitive endurance. But if you think the deck is brutal, wait until you step into the abyss. Welcome to the engine room. As a wiper or an engine cadet, you do not see the sky. You do not feel the ocean breeze. You descend into a 4-story steel cavern located entirely beneath the waterline. The temperature down here regularly hits 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The air tastes like aerosolized lubricating oil and diesel exhaust. The noise from the main engine is so violently loud that without heavy ear protection, you would suffer permanent hearing loss in minutes. Communication is done entirely through hand signals and shouting directly into someone's ear. And your job? You are the absolute lowest man in this mechanical underworld. Your title is literally wiper. And that is exactly what you do. You wipe up oil leaks. You scrub the bilges, the lowest, dirtiest part of the ship where every fluid, chemical, and sludge eventually drains. You crawl into spaces so tight your shoulders scrape the steel, breathing in diesel fumes, just to clean the plates so the engineers can spot new leaks. You dismantle and clean heavy fuel purifiers, scraping rock-hard carbon buildup with your bare hands. It is filthy, dangerous, exhausting work. The engineers above you demand perfection, A mist rag left in the wrong pipe or a carelessly cleaned filter can shut down the main engine in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Down here, you are invisible. But the stakes are life and death. Eventually, the physical pain becomes routine. Your hands callous over. You stop noticing the smell of diesel. You learn to sleep through the rolling of the ship. But then, you hit the wall. Usually around month 3, the psychological reality of commercial shipping sets in. You realize you haven't seen a tree, a dog, or a stranger in 90 days. Every day is exactly the same as the last. Work, eat, sleep. Repeat. The Wi-Fi is weak or non-existent. You are entirely disconnected from the world you left behind. Friends stop messaging. Life on land moves on without you, while you are frozen in time, trapped inside a steel box doing manual labor. This is the filter. This is where the merchant marine breaks the people who do not belong here. You cannot quit. You cannot walk away. There is nowhere to go. The only way out is through the contract. If you survive your first contract at the bottom, something shifts. You stop fighting the ship. You earn a microscopic sliver of respect from the crew, not because you are smart, but because you proved you can endure the misery without breaking. You finally understand the rhythm of the vessel. But surviving the bottom is only step 1. Because the moment you get promoted, the physical labor stops and the real pressure begins. If you thought wiping the bilges was tough, wait until the main engine fails in a storm, the alarms are screaming, and you are the only one holding the wrench. Click the video on screen to see exactly what happens when you step up to the engineer ranks, where one mistake doesn't just get you yelled at, it sinks the ship.